This week, Hobie Outdoor Adventures is on the last stop of this road trip. Today, Jerry McBride takes us inshore for some backwater fun. Stay tuned, we're kayak fishing in West Bay Area, River Camps, Panama City, Florida, targeting trout and redfish. Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Each week, we'll take the Hobies and peruse the country in search of adventure, fun, and fish. Whether we're drifting a stream, dissecting a lake, or covering an ocean, we'll show you the tips and tactics to make your next trip successful. Come with us, set your sail, and discover what life in a Hobie is all about. This is Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Well, last week, Jerry McBride, a well-known kayak fisherman on the Gulf Coast, took Keaton and Morgan offshore and hooked up plenty of species right outside Panama City Beach, Florida. We start off our day on West Bay of Panama City with some rainy conditions.
Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Today we're fishing with Jerry McBride and Keaton. We're out here at River Camps fishing for some redfish and trout. And I know that fishing with Jerry McBride, we're gonna get into some good fish today. So hang on for a fun ride. This is Hobie country.
There we go, fish on, fish on. Nice little trout early in the morning. Come on, guy. No, not under the Mirage drive. You always gotta be careful there. I've got my 1 foot up, so that drive's tucked under the kayak. Great way to start the morning. Oh yeah, 17, 18-inch trout. There's Mr. Trout. Beautiful fish. We are going to let him go. What a way to start the day.
Don't rain on me right now. If this rain would just stop, we could make you guys a show. I can get my Hobie polarized clean.
I moved here for a reason. I'd been coming out here for years and filming and writing articles, so this was my first choice, which kind of tells you what I think of this area, frankly. Even though it's growing pretty fast, the water's usually fairly pristine. You can go out here. For the most part, the seagrass is in good shape, the water's in good shape. Here fairly shortly, the flounder will move back up here. That's a big fisher here, and it's a little early today up this far. Spanish mackerel are probably on their way up. So the fishery changes, every few months, so you should never get bored here. What we're seeing right now, the mullet and frankly most of the fish have spent their winters where it's warmer and deeper water, and they're just now getting back up into these bays, and so we're kind of at the head of the mullet run here. I hope it's and of course when the mullet move up, everybody else follows them. There he is. Good, another good fish. This one might be a trout.
It's fun watching the master at work.
Oh, it's not big, but it's a trout. This is a decent trout. This would win a tournament up here sometimes.
Yeah, he looks nice.
Yeah, we got some bigger ones here the other day, but I'll bet you there's a real big one here. That first one I hit was a big fish. It really is my passion, and I can't really explain it because they don't put up a great fight. It's just a hunt. If you like hunting, you should like stalking gator trout, because that's what it takes. If you come out here with, and do things typically, running over the fish, make a lot of noise, you aren't going to catch big trout consistently. I'm not averse to keeping a few trout. I never keep one over slot, and that one was, you're allowed one over 20 inches. I never keep those bigger ones because they're females, and frankly, if you want to eat a trout, you can catch plenty of 18 inchers. But there's enough, typically there's enough flounder or pompano this time of year. Of course, we saw yesterday how many grouper and snapper there are that you could be eating when they're in season. So I just think there's absolutely no excuse for killing a big female trout.
And then when you get done, you toss it in for crab meat. We get it off the bone completely off. And then you grab this on your lure, and that's fish attractant.
I think the 2 trout that I've caught this morning don't even add up to that one that Jerry got. But it's fun. I'm changing up to this little mirror lure right here. My friend Marty Mood gave it to me when I was back in Pensacola, but I never got to really try it. And Jerry talked me into it.
So now it's my fault.
It's his fault. So I'm figuring a bigger profile bait. I have a better chance of catching these fish because, like he was saying, they're keyed in on those mullet. So they're gonna be looking for something a little bit larger to munch on. So hopefully this does the trick. We'll see.
You know, it's not just a matter of being larger, like plays into it, but you know, everything makes noise, and we're out here making a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
So the farther you can cast, the better chance that fish out there at the end of your cast doesn't know you're here.
Right.
So to me, it's just a better search lure because you can cover a lot more water. You can hit them from farther away before they know we're here.
Right.
Hobie Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by Lowrance Structure Scan 3D. Find, navigate, dominate. Rhino Rack, the world's most useful roof racks. Power Pole Micro Anchor, swift, silent, secure, and small. And by AFTCO, American Fishing Tackle Company. Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. We're in the West Bay area of Panama City, Florida, chasing sea trout and redfish with Jerry McBride, a kayak fishing enthusiast and editor-in-chief of Kayak Fish Magazine.
Most of these people out here don't even realize we've got trout that would compete with Mosquito Lagoon or Texas, but we do. I've seen lots of them here, and I've caught some of them.
Well, this feels like a better trout. Oh yeah. I changed up to a little bit of a bigger bait here. Ooh, she wants to go under the kayak. Oh yeah, she's a good fish. I actually made a cast over there and got a hit. So I dropped my power pole down, put it right back in there, and she came up and hammered it. All right. Nice trout. All right, big girl, take it easy. Oops. All right. It's a better one. Maybe close to 20 inches. Sweet. It's a better trout. If I can get a redfish now, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna let her go. Off she goes. Yeah, that was a nice trout. Definitely a little better than some of those smaller ones we've been getting. So I'm running 20-pound braid on a little Daiwa reel on my St. Croix rod. I love these rods, these inshore series. I have about 4 feet of 20-pound fluorocarbon to a loop knot right here to a soft plastic with a pretty much weedless weighted hook. I'm working my way down there. Uh-oh, Keaton and Jerry are coming. Better stake my spot.
Love catching fish on top water, so I've been throwing one all day, and it was unsuccessful. It was tough to get a fish to come up on it. And all of a sudden, I had one that was a black body with a yellow head, and had this huge mouth come up behind it, and you know, just did everything but eat it. And of course, I was like, "Whoa, Morgan!" You know, and he was like, he had a bait, and he threw up right behind me. Boom, boom, fish on.
Yeah, baby. Hopefully, Keaton, I didn't steal your fish, but this feels like a redfish. Oh yeah, that's a redfish.
You must have a decent fish there, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, it feels good.
Let me know if he's about to get under my kayak.
Oh yeah, he's a good red.
There he is, yeah.
I don't feel bad catching that fish right in front of Keaton, you know. He had that topwater there, it came up, he had his chance. So he couldn't catch it, so I figured I'd get in there and take it. But we always have fun and joke around with each other and give each other a hard time. So that was really fun to do, and I hope I didn't upset Keaton too much. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Having a power pole micro down, whoa. So you gotta keep an eye on him. Make sure my pedals are flat. There he is, right underneath you guys. All right, he's finally tiring out, I think. Yeah, he's a good red. Nice. Yeah, I'd be doing all right today, I think. That was really, really fun. Oh, I love catching redfish. Jerry always puts us on the fish.
Morgan hooked up to his biggest fish of the day. Should have been mine, but that's the way the day goes. And man, Morgan caught a great fish. But that was the only good blow up I had on a topwater.
Yeah.
There he is again.
Right on.
Another red. It's bigger than the 3 I caught earlier, I can tell you that. But I'm hoping it has a plug in its mouth, but I'm not optimistic. Nah, it's not big. Just a little regular little red. I hate to even bother with one that's smaller than one Morgan got. The advantage with the hard twitch baits or any of the hard plugs is that you can throw them so far. So when you don't have much cover out here, the grass really hasn't started coming up yet. You can, from where I'm sitting here, especially with this, 7, 8 knot breeze, I can pitch that thing 40 yards downwind, and it covers a lot more water, and the fish that's down there 40 yards is a lot less likely to know I'm here.
More backwater adventures in Panama City, Florida, when we come back. Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. We're in Panama City, Florida, home of famous white sand beaches and warm Gulf waters. Well, today we launch our Hobie kayaks in the West Bay area, close to river camps.
You can't take a bad picture out here. Every backdrop is pretty. The shorelines are gorgeous. There's so many places to launch out here, and people are very willing to let you launch in a lot of places that they wouldn't be so happy about, but people just go out of their way to help you out around here. So that's the other thing I enjoy about kayaking out here.
Seems like the shoreline is holding those reds, huh?
And why don't you come on over here and fish it? The fish I got the other day were out, they weren't on the shore. Big flounder would be good. I don't know if they're back up in here yet or not. This red, it might be a little bigger than the last one, not much. Pretty blue tail.
Yeah, the fish here are really pretty.
They are. They're so much prettier than they were in Stewart, where they're kind of just a dark silver down there most of the time. And up here they can just be flaming red, or they can be bronze or gold. You never know. Oops, sorry.
Hey Jerry.
What you got there?
I think I have the smallest redfish of the day.
I don't know. I may have had one small. I think I had one. My first one may have been smaller than that.
He's so cute. That bait's about a third the size of his body. Jerry, I can't tell you how much I look forward to coming out here and doing this kind of fishing with you guys. Every time it crosses my mind if I want to move out here.
Well, I have to say we anticipate you coming too. I wish you guys would, come out long enough where you could actually experience a lot more of it. These 2-day trips, you don't see 1/100 of what is here.
Well, that's exactly why Panama City Beach is a fishing paradise.
It's underutilized for the most part.
Yeah.
When Cheryl and I go out to our favorite spot, we hardly ever see anybody there. I mean, it's just, and they hardly ever hit the spots that we fish.
Yeah.
Most of them go right on by all the good water, and we're gonna let her swim for a minute. One of the best things I like about the Mirage Drive is when you need to revive a fish. I mean, you get a big tarpon or a big snook, you just stick your thumb in his jaw and start pedaling forward, and you can't do that if you have to paddle. So pedals save lives. You can't be catching a fish. That's where Morgan fished. I'm sure he caught everything there.
It just now realized it was caught. Golly, I don't know what I'd do if I actually caught a good one. Not bad at all. Definitely a pretty fish. There we go. Anyway, long skinny guy. Not real fat, but biggest redfish of the day.
It's another red. I think that came out of right under where Morgan had just been sitting.
I'm glad you hooked one.
I'll explain the feeling to you sometime. Oh, I think it just pulled off.
Oh no.
And that was a good one. That was about the size, well, it was every bit as big as the one you had, Morgan. The hooks are all good.
Well, thanks for letting them go and not embarrassing me.
There's another one.
Man, my day is going awesome. I got that nice 20-inch odd trout, and then a nice redfish. So I've kind of just been relaxing most of the day after that happened. We've all caught plenty of good reds and some good trout. So I know there's more redfish here too. I'm drifting down towards the shore with the wind at my back, so the Power Pole Micro has been awesome to have on the back of the Pro Angler 14. I'm just drifting about 50 yards, deploying the pole down, holding me, fan casting in the area. If I don't get a bite, I lift it back up, drift with the wind, set it again. So today it's been a really, really important tool to letting me get in a spot and really fish it thoroughly and well before moving on to the next one. They really, really are pretty fish. He's just a little guy, but those tails are so blue here. I'm gonna send him on his way.
Hobie Outdoor Adventures will be right back after these messages. Hobie Outdoor Adventures has been brought to you by Daiwa, advancing the sport of fishing. Ram Mounts, made in the USA, your best connection. Hobie Polarized, trusted, quality, heritage. And by St. Croix Rod, the best rods on earth. With 27 miles of white sand beaches, 2 state parks, miles of hiking and biking trails, and 100 public beach access points, it goes without saying that there's a lot to see and do in Panama City Beach. Anglers try their luck at the Russell Fields Pier, while visitors and residents from throughout the region are lured to the namesake Pier Park area's shops, eateries, and entertainment venues. And with a coastline that angles slightly towards the west, in Panama City Beach you can watch the sunset over the Gulf of Mexico every day of the year.
Well, I have a redfish. That bar was way too windy. The bait, I thought, maybe got blown down here along this grass edge. And so I thought I'd come down here and check this and maybe the mouth of that other bayou there. Decent little tournament fish if you were fishing tournaments. Wouldn't win, but pretty little fishy, kind of pinkish. It's amazing how diverse the colors are out here. I mean, they go from kind of this pinkish coral to bright red, gold, bronze. You know, we all get competitive in a fun sort of way, I hope. But yeah, if you can't have fun with your fishing partners, you need to just fish by yourself. And these two guys are always fun. They take abuse well, and but they're both good fishermen too, so you don't mind getting your butt kicked by them either. So what goes around comes around. So, but we've had a good day. I mean, we've taken plenty of fish pictures, and we haven't set any records for giant fish, but this is more who I am. I would much prefer to catch a 26-inch fish in a foot and a half of water and go down to one of the bridges and catch, 40-pound fish in 40 feet of water. To me, it's just not even a close consideration. So give me shallow fish anytime.
Panama City Beach, catching redfish and trout. Doesn't get better than that. We spent the day on the Gulf yesterday, catching grouper and snapper, and now we're in the Back Bay catching redfish and trout. This is unbelievable. If you're into kayak fishing, I mean, this place is just unreal. There's not a lot of people doing it, and you pretty much have the water all to yourself. It's great.
What a way to get out on the road, experience what the rest of the country has to offer. We get to do a variety of species, a variety of techniques with a bunch of great people, and we really enjoy doing this, and we hope you enjoy watching.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next episode of Hobie Outdoor Adventures.